Jumping jacks, tax, got my taxes jumping. Now my bag coming with that major money. Dripping blessings, just might buy a house for my mama. Bad credit, don't even sweat it, cause they'll repair it, ain't no question. They can do it, it's a major movement.
What's up, y'all? It's Prince Donnell, the pastor of business and also the founder and CEO of Jumpin' Jack Tax. And you are officially listening to $1 Million Life Lessons, where I drop $1 Million gems each episode, and it's your job to pick them up. This is the Man Cave edition, and I'm here with my right-hand man, the man with the cam, also my videographer and storyteller,
Ron Vann Dam.
What's good? We are back. This is the Man Cave edition, so my wife is not on. For all the fellas that was in my comments talking about, yo, Don, I love the podcast before your wife, screw you. Like, nah. It's like, nah, I appreciate y'all for showing love. And I definitely want to make sure that we continue this whole Man Cave series.
Yeah.
Just for the fellas. So the rules, here are the rules of the Man Cave. Your lady got to go. So if she in the car with you right now, cut it off. Tell her you got to listen to this later when you in the gym, because you should be in the gym getting your body right, lifting weights, staying fit and active. So cut it off. Make sure that you in the crib or wherever you are by yourself or with your fellas, your boys, your bros. It's the Man Cave. We're talking about men's topics. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about how to lead our women. We're talking about our finances. We're talking about decision making. We're talking about, sex. We're talking about all types of stuff, that brothers should be talking about to ensure that we grow from boys to men. Not like the movie, like real life. So with that said, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. What's up, Van? How you feeling?
Yeah, let's start it off with our sponsor. So who's our sponsor for today?
Yeah, our sponsor for today, of course, is Jumpin' Jack Tax. Jumpin' Jack Tax is the fastest growing virtual tax company in the country. We provide tax services to people all over the country. So you could be in California and I could be in Philadelphia and I can prepare your taxes. We created a portal where you can send all of your taxes virtually through a secure portal. We prepare them, and then within 72 hours, we hop on a video call, go over your taxes, submit them to the IRS. You never actually had to meet us in person. Also, we are one of the fastest growing licensing companies in the world as well. So let's say you wanted to start your own tax business. You wanted to learn the skill of tax preparation because, of course, everybody across this country needs their taxes done. You right now know about 10 to 20 people that need their taxes done. So why not learn the skill of tax preparation so you can capitalize off the need? With that said, I have a 12-week program teaching you the step-by-step skills on how to market, how to start, how to operate your tax business. During that 12 weeks, you're going to get personal mentorship by me all the way through to get your tax business up and running. You can go to jumpingjacktaxes.com/open your office to learn more. So get your taxes done or join Jumpin' Jack Tax so that you can start generating revenue, or you could try to beat the IRS legally. Jumpin' Jack Tax is our sponsor.
All right, so let's go into this session just to see what's up with you before we get started. So anything going on, anything new?
So what's up with me? Two things, actually. Number one, Jumpin' Jack Tax, we as a company are having our second food drive this upcoming August 8th, 2020 from 12 to 2. Our last food drive was just 3 weeks ago. We was out there, man, we gave out 750 boxes of groceries to families in the neighborhood. Man, like being on that front line, like tell me that being on that front line was crazy and seeing all them families, man. Like tell me what you witnessed, Van, from being out there.
Yeah, so the location we were in, people definitely, the word spread it quickly. And a lot of people that came were not from social media at all. So what we did was before we gave out the food for a few hours, just knocked on doors to let people know, like, hey, we're giving out food right around the corner. Tell your family, tell your friends. And sure indeed, they did. We had an Erie Ave jam-packed. Did not get shut down. I thought there was going to be police out there or somebody.
Yeah, they kept it moving because they saw what we was doing out there.
Yeah, true.
It was crazy.
News came out there.
They did. Channel 10, Channel 17. So shout out to y'all, folks.
It was, 95 degrees that day?
It was 95 degrees outside. And it was just a bunch of us. We were out there giving out 750 boxes of groceries to families that were in need, and they needed that food, man, and it felt so good. So we're actually going to be doing a food drive every month for the rest of the year. Our next food drive is this upcoming August the 8th, 2020, from 12 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m., where we're going to be giving out another 500 to 750 boxes of groceries to families in Philadelphia at our tax office right on the corner of Erie Ave and Dungan Street, across the street from Erie Lanes. If you're in Philly, come get your groceries. We're doing this every single month. And if you want to volunteer, contact hello@jacktaxes.com. If you are in Philadelphia and would like to show up and be a helping hand, please, because we're going to work. And just know you're going to have to work hard, because we be out there, man, and being on them front lines, putting them boxes in them cars and giving it to the families. Yo, that was hard work. Yeah, but it felt so liberating when we were done. Yeah. Of us being able to really affect people's lives. So we doing this for the rest of the year. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited.
Me too. Any other giveaways other than food, you think, as the season changes, or are you going to keep it?
I think so. This upcoming month, August 8th, we're going to be doing a food drive again, back to back.
Okay.
In September, we're actually going to be doing the back to school drive. So we're trying to find, I guess, a vendor right now. So if you're listening to this and you know somebody, please send them my way. Send an email to hello@jacktaxes.com. We're looking for a vendor basically who can pack up a bunch of book bags. We want 750 to 1,000 book bags packed up with all the supplies in there. Pencils, marble notebooks, and folders and binders.
Face mask.
You need that these days. So we want to try to find a vendor that can give us all of that. We're, of course, going to pay for all of it. So if you know somebody that can assist us with doing that, please send them my way. We would love to be able to get that set up. So in September, when kids are ready to go back to school, we can also support the community by giving back all of the book bags, 750 to 1,000 bags. So that's going to be September. And then, of course, in November, you got to do the turkey drive. You know what I'm saying? So, man, the rest of this year is going to be awesome. We're going to be on the ground. We're going to be front and center. And like I said, if you want to volunteer, if you're in Philly, please send us an email so we can get you set up to be able to come out and show love.
All right, great. So we can kind of kick it off now.
I have What's Up With Me number 2. I have What's Up With Me number 2. What's Up With Me number 2 is it's officially been 11 days since I've even logged on to Instagram. I'm 11 days sober from social media. And it's a crazy experience, man. I'm telling you, I'm in my own skin. That's number 1. I'm in my own skin. And I'm actually thinking for myself, because I'm not bombarded by opinions on a daily basis. I probably was spending, based on what my iPhone said, I was spending about 3 to 5 hours a day on Instagram. I have my 3 to 5 hours back to be able to focus on my company, to be able to focus on my family, and just really be grounded and focus on the people that are around me each and every day. It's crazy. With these 11 days off of social media, yesterday, I was out to dinner with my wife, and I didn't even bring my phones. And my wife said, "Honey, you got your phone with you?" And I said, "No, I don't actually." I said, "I never actually understood the purpose of having a phone if I'm not on social media." Think about this, Van. What's the purpose of having a cell phone if you don't got Instagram? What do you actually do outside of that? Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously with running Jumpin' Jack Tax, people call me on a daily basis because they need me to make executive decisions, or I'm answering emails. But many times that's not the case for hours on end. So what do you really need your cell phone for?
Yeah. I mean, at that time, going out to dinner, I couldn't. Family emergencies, maybe.
That's the only thing. But how many times did this family emergencies actually happen?
You're right. Otherwise, you're just on your phone scrolling.
You're on your phone scrolling and not actually grounded. You're not present, really, because you're in a whole nother world with Instagram.
Crazy.
I'm actually present these days. It's crazy because my wife, and you even did this before, was like, "Yo, Don, you saw what happened the other day?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not on Instagram. What happened?" "Oh, such and such did this." And I'm like, "Well," and I said this to Dana. I said, "Well, you know what's crazy? That doesn't even exist to me because I'm not on Instagram. So really, everything that's going on in the world that I did not actually see doesn't even exist." It's like somebody in California right now who's going through something and I don't know who they are. So do they technically exist to me? True. They exist to the world. They don't exist to me. So really, with me not being on Instagram, all that stuff that's on there doesn't even exist to me. I'm living my life.
It reminds me of Juneteenth. when slaves, they were slaves for like what, 2 extra years before
like
because the news didn't spread
the
that fast.
emancipation didn't exist.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. And that's the place that I'm in life right now. Like, yo, none of that stuff exists to me. I'm literally present. I'm active. I have more time to focus on my companies, have more time to focus on my wife and my family, have more time to focus on my friends and the people that I'm around. And the last thing is, on Saturday, just this past Saturday, we were out to dinner. Me, my wife, April, and her guy friend is what I'll call him. We were out to lunch. And I found it interesting that since obviously I'm not on social media, I didn't have my phone out, but everybody else was scrolling around the table and I'm just looking around, looking at them, and then I'm looking at everybody else in other tables. I guess it got awkward because they noticed that I was just sitting there by myself. Because technically you're by yourself when everybody's in their phones. Nobody actually is actually present at the table, and they all like got off of their phones because they realized that I was sitting there just doing nothing. So it's like I kind of demanded a level of respect from people to make them put their phones away now because I'm not on mine. Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy, yo.
That's one rule I definitely do have. I had it for a while. When you're at the table and we eating dinner, no phones. No phones.
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Because it'd be awkward with your kids. Like, if your kids don't have no phones, you sitting there scrolling, they sitting there.
You're not there.
So once they do get a phone, I noticed that, kids automatically, they start doing other stuff, watching YouTube.
Bro, you're not there. You're not there. So for all the fellas listening to this, please, man, I say that to say this. I'm not, now me, I don't even know when I'm even going to get back on Instagram. I don't know. I don't even have a timeline for it.
They miss you.
It may be a day that I might come back in 6 months. It may be a year. I literally have no idea. There's no timeline to it. But with that said, I just want to encourage all my fellas, man, please find time to just disconnect from social media, to just focus on your relationship with God, to focus on your relationship with your family, to be present for your friends, your kids, and to just not even just any of that. Let's take all that out of it. To be present for yourself. Right? To be in your own skin, to have your own opinions, to have your own thought processes, right? Do that for you. I don't care if it got to be just, like, maybe you just choose one day out of a week. All I'm encouraging you to do, take one day out of a week to just say, today is the day that I'm just not going to be on Instagram. Make that a Thursday. I don't care. And just every Thursday for the rest of this year, say every Thursday, I'm no longer on Instagram. I'm off. And everybody can do that. Every man listening to this can do that. And I'm encouraging you, not just because I'm doing it, but do it for yourself. Let me know how it feels. Just being a full day off. Let me know. I'm 11 days. I might end up going a year. And every time we have these podcast episodes, I'm going to keep counting down the days because I'm going to keep saying, yo, it's 30 days. I can't wait till I get to the month mark. I've never done that before.
So this is actually a perfect transition into the first topic that I actually want to talk about, which was the effect of social media and actually removing that from your life. So right now, you may have missed it because you haven't been on social media, but there's been a lot of slander on Kanye West, Nick Cannon, and other influencers out there because of one mistake is being amplified.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people tearing these men down, and it's affecting their mental health. It's been known that Kanye West actually has a mental health issue, but people seem to take that and, make fun of it. And I know that is not good for any human being. It seems like right now, social media is just high school. You know what I mean?
It is.
So when that one thing happens and everybody finds out, that one kid sits at lunch alone. Right now, I feel like Kanye West is sitting at the table by himself.
Yes.
Since you're removed from that, how has that advanced your mental health?
It's beautiful. My mental health is I'm healthier than ever. When I was on social media, let me tell you something. Although there's a lot of money to be made on social media, when you feel trapped to it and you're so stuck to people's opinions and you're stuck to the positive comments, the negative comments, the things people are saying about you, whether it be positive or negative, the things people are saying about other people, because that affects you too.
Yeah.
Just because nobody's talking about you, you're still taking in the energy of somebody talking about others, right? And when I was on Instagram, yo, I swear to you, I'm and you heard me talk about this on many occasions. Probably for about 6 months, I just was like, yo, I'm not feeling the gram. And I kept saying it, I'm just not feeling it. Don't get me wrong, it's providing and making a lot of money for the company, but like I just can't do it no more. Like it's just a lot going on. I don't like when people talk about others. I don't like people talk about me with the mistakes that I make. And ever since I've unplugged over these past 11 days, like I said, it doesn't exist to me anymore. The only thing that exists to me now is the thing that's happening right here at this moment. And if it's something that's very important, it'll reach me.
True.
You ever realized, and this is why this is how it becomes so good for your mental health. You ever realized that if it's something that's drastically important to you, if a guy was on a construction site and he was like a mile away on a construction site doing what he needed to do, and something happened to his mom, she passed away, or she in the hospital, and he didn't have his phone on him and they was blowing up his line, do you know that they would still find a way to get the information to him although he didn't have his phone?
True.
Because it was vitally important. So for me, for my mental health, what I've realized was I can't take in all of the negative energy. And as a man, you have to realize the things that make you tick, that knock you off your rocker, and the things that are going to make you calm and at peace. I had to realize that it wasn't good for me, regardless of the money that was being generated. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm removing myself. And if it is of importance, then it will find me. And if it's not of importance, then it won't find me. Right?
Yeah.
And around the situation of mental health, I'm going to tell you something, man. Talking about Kanye, talking about Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, nobody in this world is perfect. That's first and foremost. So for anybody to judge another man's decisions as if they have not made their own mistakes is a child. You're foolish. You're speaking on other people as if your shit doesn't stink. And that's just wrong. I don't agree with it. I don't speak on anybody. You'll never, ever in your life ever see me speak on anybody in their situation because I don't know the context of their situation. So that means I'm just providing an opinion that can ultimately turn into affecting somebody's mental health. So for every single person that's online right now speaking on the Kanye or Nick Cannon or any of those situations and providing an opinion, and you're providing an opinion in order to get a level of temporary fame, you're a clown. Because you are adding to destroying somebody's mental health in one way, shape, or form, whether it was a small opinion or not. So with the situation with Kanye, I was just talking to my wife about this yesterday because she was, because obviously she's in bed and she's scrolling through Instagram, and I hear it, although I'm not on the gram. And I heard this woman that was like, she went on like a 9-minute rant. I don't know her face. I never saw her face because again, I didn't see the picture. I just heard it. And for 9 minutes, she started talking about how, Kanye has bipolar disorder and how his family with the Kardashians don't care about him and how, they're just using him and his blackness in order to get ahead and advance themselves. And I said, whoa. I was like, the next morning I had to talk to her and I said, yo, I'm very furious about what you was listening to. I said, for one reason and one reason only. How are you speaking on situations that you know nothing about? Like, we live in a time now on social media where somebody can literally create an entire opinion, create an entire fantasy in their mind around something they know nothing about. Based off of stories that they're hearing, based off of blog posts, based off of things that people are posting, they're like, oh, this has to be true. I'm just going to talk about this. Bro, you can't speak on things you don't know nothing about. And with the internet, that's why it's a gift and a curse right now, because it provides individuals like me. And don't get me wrong, it was a blessing that individuals like me had the ability of being able to speak on things that I actually knew about, things that were fact, that I've studied, right? But then it can get drowned out by individuals that are providing falsified information, just straight up not knowing the context of nothing. Just because they want to be heard, they're going to say things that are ignorant. And then the everyday public don't know any better, so they feed into it at the same time. So even with this COVID situation, it could be people that's on the internet right now that's providing factual information about COVID. But do we actually know? Do we actually know? And why don't we know? Because there's millions of people that are providing information about COVID-19 that they know nothing about. They're not scientists. They never even studied this. They don't even know what it is. And that right there makes me furious. And it leads to the mental disorders of individuals that are in spotlight. So the best thing that you can possibly, here's my thing. I'll leave it with this. The best thing you could possibly do, and for people that are dealing with mental disorders, is either provide them with help or shut up, because you're not helping the situation at all. And I'm gonna tell you, man, mental health is a serious thing. We literally just saw it, and I'm not going to say the individual's name, but we just saw this recently, and I saw it firsthand, how somebody that I knew for months was normal, and literally within 24 hours, they turned into somebody else. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We
saw it firsthand, and I was nervous. I was afraid, bro, because it was that serious. I'm like, yo, this is not the individual that I know. It can't be. It was a totally different person.
Completely.
And you can't, and the thing is, they're not thinking rational at the moment, so you can't have a logical conversation with them to speak to them about nothing. And then they're, the heck was that? Yo, what the hell, what was that?
That was brick.
And then, yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what just happened. And then when they of age, 21 years old, you can't forcefully admit them anywhere, so they got to make the decision for themselves. Bro, I saw that happen. That was the scariest thing that I've ever seen in my life. So with that said, the scene with what's happening with Kanye West, bro, literally, I please, if you listen to this, man, like, yo, if you see people that are dealing with mental health issues, man, either provide them with help or shut up and leave them alone, bro, because I'm telling you, you adding your opinion, not knowing context is so detrimental, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I just can't be around stuff like that. I can't be around people that's providing like falsified information.
Let me ask you this question. During that time period where you really felt like, hey, I feel like my brain is getting cloudy right now, like it's being like it's too much pressure inside of it. You explained why you chose to take social media out. For someone who is actually dealing with that mental health issue currently, explain to them how you took your priorities and decided to switch them around, take something out in order for you to actually clear your head.
Well, first and foremost, I put mental health over money. That's number one. And I'll set the record clear. I put my mental health over money any day of the week. If you are if social media is becoming too much for you, if it's clouding your mind, if it's causing issues in your family life, if it's causing issues in your personal life, your career life, and just your overall mood, because you feel your energy, if it's causing those kinds of issues, then my best advice would be to remove yourself immediately.
But could it not also be social media? Like, say if no one does have a social media, so I actually like go through that process. Because I remember you were talking to me and you said you had your family first, your company, and then like basically.
Oh, absolutely. I prioritize myself in an order. You know, I prioritize when I look at it. I prioritize my family over everything. That's number one. So if social media or other areas of my life are affecting my family, then whatever it is that I'm connected to is gone.
Gotcha.
No negotiation. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I consider somebody a terrorist that's affecting my family. So I don't negotiate on that level. So I'm already gone. You're cut off. I'm never talking to you again, or I'm never connecting with whatever that was again that's affecting my family. If my family don't bang with you, I don't bang with you. And that's just how I rock. So that's first, family, number one. Number two is Company. Obviously, when you're running a company, and for my fellas that's not running a company, a career. if you have yourself a career or a company, if it's affecting the advancement of your career, if it's affecting the advancement of your company, of giving it all that you got to be the best that you can possibly be, whatever that thing is that's distracting you from doing so, you need to remove that immediately as well. And that's not just with social media. That's with, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be marijuana, it could be women that you dating and dealing with on a daily basis. It could be the friends that you hanging around, whatever it may be that's affecting the advancement of your career or affecting the advancement of your company, remove it immediately, because that is priority number 2, because priority number 2 provides for priority number 1.
Gotcha.
Right? And to me, those are the only 2 things that actually matter. And then number 3 is peace of mind. Right? Like, peace of mind is important. If it's affecting your peace of mind, if it's affecting how you feel about yourself as a person, if it's affecting the confidence level, the confidence that you have in yourself and the decisions that you make, then you got to remove yourself from that.
And this can even be people.
This could be people. This could be social media. This can be recreational activities. I don't care what it may be. Those top 3 priorities: family, career, company, and your peace of mind, your presence. If it's affecting those 3 things in any way, shape, or form, it's not good for you, because anything that's healthy to you would not affect any of those 3 things in no way, shape, or form. If anything, it would enhance those 3 things. So with that said, it's the exact reason why I had to remove myself from IG, because it started to affect those 3 areas of my life. And I said that I can't do that. But of course, I found an alternative to still ensure that social media is being used effectively to be able to still grow the companies. I'm just not personally on there, but I found solutions on how to be able to still grow the business without being on the gram. And that comes with learning a skill of digital marketing, which I literally invested thousands of dollars to learn the skill of Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. I literally took the months of quarantine to learn all of this, so that when I did make that decision to leave Instagram, it affected nothing on the business, because I'm still able to reach millions of people through ads. And I know how to do it effectively. I'm good at it, so I don't got to worry about it.
So where can people find you if they still want to indulge in your content?
Yeah, if you still want to find me, you still got YouTube that people are listening to this right now. You still got the podcast, $1 Million Life Lessons Podcast, and that's basically the only 2 spots that you can find me. The only other third place you can find me is my presence. Is if you're in my presence. That's it. That's the only third place. Anything other than that, you ain't gonna see me there.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you though. That's gonna cost you though.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna cost you. Definitely gonna cost you.
All right, so let's move on. So I was going through your since I do manage you and Dana's Instagram, I was going through your DMs a little bit to try to get some feedback from people. Like I said, a lot of the DMs, like I probably was on still the last 24 hours. Is everybody reposting your content, old content, because you know they kind of miss you on the gram. I could tell, like they're reposting stuff. Like I seen some people posting podcasts from like episode 44 last year that we did, which is crazy. But I did find a few young men asking you about relationships. So one guy is having an issue with him and his woman, and him actually taking control and making decisions, because he feels like he needs her to be a little more free, and the only way she can be free is he kind of let her take control. Let her take the steering wheel a little bit, but at the same time he's getting not a good vibe when he does let her take control.
Right.
And we had a discussion before, once we was actually reading The Way of the Superior Man, of making the decisions for women. For example, one of the most infamous things a woman says, like, hey, I don't know what I want to eat. And I mean, it was whatever you want, babe, you decide, whatever you want. But a woman would like for a man to actually make that decision for him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like not saying, hey, where you want to go tonight?
Absolutely.
Hey, babe, this is where we're going tonight. This is what we're doing. And we'll be back around this time and we can do this. So what would be your take on a man actually taking control and making those little decisions for a woman, and what can happen if he decides not to?
Well, for all my fellas, I'll make it clear. Women love men who take charge, for sure. It's just, it proves that you're a leader. It proves that it proves your masculinity. It proves that you're a strong individual. You know, she loves a man that takes charge, that's not afraid to make decisions. Because when you're not afraid to make decisions, she feels as though that you can also protect her at the same time. Because you're fearless. The reason why it works, why women love it so much, is because decision making is not an easy thing, right? It's a challenging one that most people run away from. So for you to stand firm in your decision, and then for you to be confident in the outcome of the decision, proves to her that you also are going to keep that same energy when it comes to protecting and providing for your family, right? Like if I know that he can be strong in his decision making and be strong in his conviction and his word and being able to fix things and being able to move quickly, he'll be able to do that when it comes to maybe we need to make some money because we in the jam. And he gonna be able to come up with the money to be able to figure out what we need to do. If we about to lose our house or something's about to go down and we ran into bad problems, he can fix that. Or maybe, you know, or maybe we in a situation where somebody's trying to break into our home. He gonna get up and he gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna go figure out what's going on. So it's like fast decision making as a man affects a lot that goes on with your family. And really what I want to do is I want to talk about my kind of decision-making process. What are the 5 things that I think about? Because decision-making was not an easy thing for me either. When I first kind of started getting into entrepreneurship, I was afraid to make decisions too. Just so all my fellas that's listening to this, I was not perfect in no way, shape, or form. I was the same dude that used to be like, yo, it is what it is. Yo, we do whatever we do whatever you want to do. I was that dude.
Yeah. Because I mean, sometimes a man don't know what she likes. So
exactly,
like, yeah, you decide.
Exactly, and I was that dude that was like, nah, let's do whatever it is you want to do, baby. I ain't worried about it. But not even just with a woman. I used to do that with everything that I did.
I got you.
And the reason why I did that was because I didn't want to be in a line of fire, and I was afraid of people telling me I was wrong. I was afraid of being that individual that like has to stand up and apologize for leading people in the wrong direction. And that's most likely the reason why, if you're a man listening to this, why you're afraid to make decisions as well. You're afraid of being wrong.
They don't want to take responsibility.
You don't want to take the responsibility of the outcome. That's the reason why. Yeah. And I can understand that. I was at that place. But I had to realize something, man. I had to realize that decision making is not black and white. Decision making is green, blue, yellow, orange, brown. It's everything in between. Here's what I learned about decision making. There's no right or wrong answer to it. There's no right or wrong. The reason why it's no right or wrong is because you don't know the variables that are to come from the decision that you make. Gotcha. So you might make a decision based off of the facts that you have today, but there could be different facts tomorrow that completely change the decision, which now makes your outcome invalid. So as a man, please, I'm begging all my fellas is, please, man, understand me. You're never going to be the one that makes a perfect decision. I had to get rid of that notion. That's what made me a better decision maker. That's what made me a quicker decision maker, because I'm not going in and being perfect. I do have a formula to decision making that I stick to help me make better informed decisions. Because of course, you don't always want to have a track record of being wrong because people are not going to trust you. So as long as you can make informed decisions and you can explain your formula on how you made a decision and you're confident in that decision, then nobody's gonna have problems with you. They'll run with you off a cliff because they know that your information gotta be solid. The way that you thought about it had to be solid. So they like, all right, I'm following you, Don. If we wrong, but at least I can trust that you did your due diligence before making a decision. And that's the thing that makes you a leader. And as a man, as the CEO of your family, as CEO of your household, a CEO, which is the chief executive officer, the entire job of a CEO is to make executive decisions. The one who makes the hard decisions, the one who makes the fast decisions, the one who makes those decisions that people like have nightmares about. And here's my five step formula to decision making. Number 1 is purpose. Number 2 is facts. Number 3 is consequences. Number 4 is execution. And number 5 is evaluation. Right? So purpose, facts, consequences, execution, evaluation. Let me break down those 5. Number 1, purpose. Before I make any decision, I always have to understand the purpose of the decision that I'm making, right? So if somebody's coming to me with a problem, okay, what is the purpose? What is the desired goal that we want to reach from this issue that we have? What is the desired goal that we want to reach from the decision that I'm about to make? Because now I have a clearer mind and I'm able to aim the right way, right? Like it's like having a firearm. I can't shoot with my eyes closed. I need to have a target. I have to know exactly where I'm about to shoot with the target, and then from there I pull the trigger, right?
Yeah.
I know where I'm shooting at, so I have a better line of sight. You need to create a line of sight, and that comes with purpose. That comes with having a goal in mind, okay? And that now that you have a goal in mind, you're able to pretty much get rid of about 99% of the options that are being brought to you. Because of course, when it comes to decision making, you have to choose between A, B, C, D, or E. If I know my goal, I can pretty much remove A, B, E, and E out of it because A, B, and E aren't in alignment with my goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm able to niche down to the specifics, to where now I only got 2 or 3 things to choose from as opposed to 10 things to choose from because the other 7 didn't serve my ultimate goal. That makes sense?
Yep.
So purpose and goal are number 1. Number 2 is and what did I just say? Number 2 is the facts, right? Facts are super important, right? So when I'm thinking of making a decision, I want to get facts on those 2 or 3 decisions, those 2 or 3 options that I have to choose from. All right, so if I got 3 options on the table, I need all the facts on all 3 of these options that I'm about to choose from because I want to know the real numbers. I want to know what's right. I want to know what's wrong with it. I want to know everything around these things, okay? Get your facts straight. And when I say get your facts straight, before I make a decision, I'm able to clearly explain each choice to an audience. That's what I mean by getting your facts straight. And when I mean explaining each choice, I don't mean take a whole week to get your facts straight. Sometimes you don't have a week to make decisions. Sometimes they got to be within 24 hours. Some decisions got to be within 10, 15 minutes. And sometimes getting your facts straight don't take an hour. Getting your facts straight sometimes can take 5 minutes. It could be a very simple one. So with that said, in order to get your facts straight, I always ask questions because I believe that the best scientist is not the one who comes up with the invention. He's the one who asks himself the right questions that spark the actual idea. So I ask questions about each decision that I'm about to make. Okay, what's the facts around this? What's the questions around this? Okay, let me ask myself a question. How would this do this? How would that do that? How would that do that? Now I'm able to get data, right? I have the facts to back up each decision. Now that I have the facts to back up each decision, because I narrowed it down to 2 or 3 because I understood my goal, which was number 1. Now that I have my facts in number 2, now in number 3, I'm now going to weigh out the consequences. There's consequences to everything, unfortunately. But you have to live with those consequences because I now realize that in life, there's never going to, again, like I said, there's never a perfect decision. There's always going to be, if I choose this, I got to give this up. So please, fellas, in your right mind, please understand this. If you choose something, there's always going to be something that you got to give up. The goal is now, how can I limit my exposure as much as possible with the decision that I make? That's how I look at it. When I weigh out consequences, which one gives me the least exposure as possible, or the least amount of loss as possible, the least casualty as possible, that's more so the one that I'm going to lean towards. So I weigh out my decisions based off of casualty, losses. Okay, this one I might lose 10%. This one I might lose 30. This one I might lose 80. I'm not willing to lose 80. Yeah. 15 and 30. Okay, let me narrow it down to these 2 decisions that now I got 15% loss, 30% loss. But now I get it back to which one serves the ultimate goal, which one based on the facts makes sense, and then I can weigh out, am I willing to take a 30% consequence because it leads more towards my goal, so I'm willing to take more of a risk. So you're able to, number 3 is your consequence. Once you get your consequences, you're able to narrow down, and then number 4, you execute. You don't now that you're down to 2 options because you utilize your goal. You understood the facts. You understood your consequences. Now you're down to two options. I love being at A or B because now that I'm at A or B, I have a 50-50 shot of being right or I have a 50-50 shot of being wrong. I'll take those odds any day of the week. It's like rolling dice and somebody say, you can make 100,000 heads or tails. I'll take that any day of the week. So with that said, I make a decision. I'm choosing A. Let's go. I'm doing it. I'm confident in it. Now, when you execute, it's very important that you execute with full confidence.
100%.
100%. I'm not going to execute with, I'm 90% sure that this is going to work. No, then you didn't fully make a decision. That means you're 10% still on B and 90% on A. It don't work that way. You have to be 100% certain. And the reason why you got to be 100% certain, because when you have a family, a wife, kids, if you have them, or a company, you gotta inspire the rest of the people around you to ensure them that, yo, I know we're going in the right direction. People don't want to feel like you're confused because then they're going to be nervous. I got to make sure the people around me are confident. So I execute and I say, hey guys, I made my decision. We're going to go with this one based off of the reason why I chose this one is because based off of the facts, this is what I got from this. And I feel 100% confident that this is the right decision that we make. And you stand to it. And that makes you a strong man when you do that too. Because a lot of people, they like to play both sides of the fence. I like this decision, but if it don't work, we can always, or you know what? I think I'm partially right. People don't like partial people. They like certainty. Be certain on what you're doing. And it took me a while to get to that place. But now that I am, man, I feel great. I feel great because I'm just confident. And here's the reason why I'm confident. I'm confident because of number 5, which is evaluation. With evaluation, this is where you evaluate the decision that you made, and sooner or later, the outcome, the result is going to come back on if you were right or wrong. And again, there's no right or wrong decision to this, but obviously there can be consequences that you did not foresee. In a stage where you're now evaluating now, you can now begin to look back and gather data on, okay, what could I have done better? What did I miss? What are the X factors that came that I got to look out for next time? The evaluation phase is for you to get better for the next decision that you have to make. But here's the best part about the evaluation stage. And here's where I believe the best decision makers thrive. The best decision maker is not the person who always gets it right. The best decision maker is the one who knows how to handle the outcome of the decisions that he makes. So that's the beauty of decision making to begin with. No matter what decision that I make, in my evaluation phase, I'm able to deal with the outcome and pivot even if I were wrong to begin with. So to me, there's never any wrong decision because I know I can deal with the outcome of any decision that was made. That right there means that you always win. So you know what? Damn, if I took too much exposure there, I can fix that. So when you're confident enough to know that you can fix any decision that you make, that's when you realize your true freedom. That's when you're able to make decisions faster. That's when you're able to be more confident because you're confident in knowing that you can fix the outcome, which means that you never lose to begin with, although you're starting with the decision that you make. That's why I'm able to make decisions fast. That's why I'm able to be confident. And when I learned that, completely mind blown, bro. Completely mind blown.
And that can go with even small things, right? I mean, just got it just straightforward. Just
anything.
Process it in your head.
Anything. As long as you know that you can fix the outcome of any decision that you make and you're confident in that, okay, in the worst case scenario, if my decision is wrong, here are the 3 possible outcomes that can come from this. I can fix all 3. Yeah. So I'm good. I choose B. And let's see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to fix it. And those are the type of people that you want to be around because you're like, yo, they confident, bro. They're going to be able to fix anything. They're going to be able to get us out of a jam. Everybody wants to be around somebody that can get them out of a jam.
And your woman will respect that because, first of all, you made a confident decision. And then, second of all, even if it was not the right decision, you took accountability in your evaluation. Exactly.
And if you were wrong, you were able to stand up and you were able to, like you said, accountability and apologize for being wrong and saying, yo, but it's okay. I have a solution for you anyway because I was wrong and because we're here. I got another solution to that anyway. She's like, damn, that's those type of individuals. You like, yo, that person's a hustler. They always got something. They always got a way out of this. Those are the type of people that you want to be around.
All right, she'll follow you to the battlefield any day.
And those are the type of people who are demonized. Those are the people who are demonized, but everybody wants to be around.
True.
You demonize individuals like that. Like, damn, they always got something going on. They always hustling. They always making these decisions, and sometimes they be wrong, and sometimes they be that. But you wouldn't have it any other way because you know that they always are going to get you out of a jam. They always got solutions. They are hustlers. Their mind is always working. So I'd rather be around a person like that than somebody who's indecisive any day of the week. I don't want to deal with people who are in neutral. No.
Yeah, that's true. And if you think about it, I'm not going to name no names, but there's people out there that we see on TV every day that has a following because they're so confident in their decisions.
Yep.
So confident.
Whether right or wrong. And we follow them anyway because we're like, damn, you admire people who have that kind of confidence.
You do.
You admire them.
You do.
They're special.
So, we always do talk about finances on our podcast. We do want to make sure your pockets is right. You know what I mean? You keep building generational wealth for your family. So we would just want to go into a little segment talking about what to do with your money. You know what I mean? Since we know a dollar is not a dollar tomorrow because everything changes, investment changes. We were just talking about, was it yesterday? Yesterday in the podcast? Yeah. We realized that Tesla, Elon Musk's company,
had a bean. He's on a bean.
Yeah, it's funny because when you sent me that app, to start doing the investments, one of the first things I seen was his company Tesla, and I'm like, oh, yo, this stock's about 700. Checked yesterday and went up 1,000.
1,700 right now.
1,000 and what?
I think 1,700.
4 or 5 months.
Yep, $1,000.
So what is your evaluation of the dollar, and what should one do with it?
Well, my evaluation of the dollar, and by no way, shape, or form am I saying that I'm a financial analyst or a specialist or anybody that is a pro in the stock market, so I'm not giving you advice on your finances. I'm merely stating an opinion. My evaluation of money for me, I'm speak for me.
Okay.
My money always has to be in motion. It always has to be in motion for a number of different reasons. When you understand basic economics, you realize that there's a certain thing called inflation. That's a very simple concept. For those who don't understand what inflation is, basically, it's an increase. Normally, the inflation rate is about 3%. It's the increase of goods and services in this country that normally increase by about 3% a year. So if you were paying for something that was $1, then it'll increase by 3% next year, which means that if your money stays exactly the same, if your money stays the same in 2020, going into 2021, but the price of goods and services increased by 3%, that means the value of your buying power decreased by 3%. Meaning that although you have a certain amount of money in your account, that don't mean that you can buy the value of the money that's inside of your account because the world has increased.
Yeah, so if you were charging me $1 today, maybe tomorrow you charge me $1.03.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So if you still only got $1 in your account, you short. Right. So with that basic concept in place, you have to realize that your money always needs to be in motion in some way, shape, or forms. Now, when it comes to your money being in motion, there are so many different strategies in order to do this. But there are some basic concepts that you can take advantage of. When I used to work at the bank, one of the things that I used to deal with all the time was customers that came in. Some of them had $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, up to $100,000 sitting inside of their bank account. And I was a financial services rep. And I remember I used to sell life insurance, fixed annuities, indexed annuities that were tied to the S&P 500. And I used to sit and have conversations with people, and I used to say, hey, you got $50,000 sitting inside of your account right now. You are actively losing money due to inflation. On paper, it looks like your money's not going anywhere. But like you're actively in the real world, you're losing money. You got to put this in motion. If you're going to park your money somewhere, it needs to at least be generating at minimum 3% just to break even, right? And the biggest rebuttal I used to get from people was, no, I don't want to put my money in places that's unsafe. It's unsafe putting it anywhere. I want my money to be FDIC insured. Right? Now, for those who don't know what FDIC insured is, let me just get the actual, because I know the acronym, but I just want to make sure, because FDIC is, if it's going to pull up, Wi-Fi is not working. Here we go. So FDIC is the federal. Yeah, I knew that was, but I just wanted to be sure. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, basically meaning that if I put my money inside of the bank, it's insured up to $250,000 per Social Security number. So my money is secured up to $250,000. So let's say the banking industry collapsed, the bank collapsed. My money's insured. I'll be able to get my money back. I don't know when I'm gonna get it back, but it is insured up to $250,000. So basically, I guess after the Depression and all of, the Great Depression and all these collapses that were happening, FDIC stepped in basically to provide confidence, to push confidence back into the banking industry, to say, hey, put your money in the bank because now that it's backed by FDIC, you're good to go. They provided confidence, so people started throwing their money into the bank. And then FDIC insured came, where people were like, I don't want to put my money nowhere other than FDIC insured because I don't want to lose my money.
Yeah.
Right? So basically the bank was able to market. They were able to, it's crazy because the bank was able to market themselves as the safe place to keep your money. Which I'm not denying that they're safe up to $250,000, but how safe is your money when you're actually actively losing it and the bank is using it and they're lending it back, and the bank is using it, they're lending your money back out. Not only are they lending your money out, they're actively reinvesting it into opening more banks or opening up their systems, or those marble floors that you see when you walk inside of the bank, that was your money. You pay for that. So they're actively investing, making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%, while you're making probably 0.5%. I don't know how safe that actually is for you in the long term. It may be safe for you short term. So with that said, I had to convince people that, yo, ma'am or sir, FDIC is not the safest place to hold your money. Personally, based off of my opinion, I think insurance companies are safer than banks, because insurance companies actually have to back. Insurance companies have to back your money dollar for dollar. So for every dollar that you give an insurance company, they need to have $1 in reserves. So what that means is, let's say I gave $250,000 to the insurance company. If I ever ask for my money back, they need to give me back $250,000 immediately. The bank, on the other hand, they actually, if you have a certain amount of money in a bank, right? They don't actually have all of that money in cash sitting inside of a vault. So if I need my $10,000, I want my $10,000 in cash right now. I want my $20,000 in cash. They may not actually have all of that money in cash because of the regulations. They only actually have a certain percentage of your money. That's the reason why half the time, if somebody got $250,000 in the bank, they're not giving you $250,000 back in cash. They don't have it. So they give you a cashier's check to keep it digital because they don't actually have the cash. Bank and insurance companies, on the other hand, need to have it dollar for dollar. So personally, I believe insurance companies are a safer bet than banks any day of the week. They've proved it on multiple occasions. I'll also leave you with this. How many times have you seen insurance companies actually shut down?
Never.
Rarely. Unless it was an insurance company that was already having financial issues to begin with. Yeah. Most like those blue chip insurance companies, they are set. These are multi-billion-dollar insurance companies. They're never shutting down. It's the safest place to ever keep your money. They don't shut down. How many times have you seen banks go into bankruptcy or need to get bailed out by the government? Yeah, multiple occasions. Yep. That just tells you right there, just on the surface level. And people can go deeper into this if you want to. Just on the surface level, if you look at that, that'll tell you that insurance companies have a stronger financial health than banks do, and insurance companies are a lot more highly regulated as well when it comes to what they're doing with your money. So I'll just leave you with that just to think about. But with that being said, with me dealing with the FDIC, what I realize is that your money has to be in motion. You got to be making at least 3%. Now, my recommendation is this. For those of you who may have cash now, don't get me wrong. I think, do you need to have a certain amount of money for emergency if you ever need it? Sure. Guaranteed. You need to be able to access it at any given time. But I'm going to be honest with you. With the information that I now know just about the stock market in general, there's no reason why your money should not actively be earning if you're sitting on it. Like right now, you have two options if you were to invest in the stock market right now. You can invest in individual stocks, such as Tesla, Fiverr, Apple, Microsoft. You got a bunch of blue chip companies. Of course, you do your research, right? You can invest in individual stocks and just buy the share price, and now you own a share in that company, and the CEO now works for you of that company. He works for you. His goal is to make sure that the share price is continuously increasing, that the company is continuously making profit, that the operations are set, that they're lowering their expenses so that you, as a shareholder of the company, can make money. It's the goal. You can invest in individual stocks, or let's say you're somebody right now who's like, yo, I don't know nothing about individual stocks. I don't know nothing about it. I don't want to do no research. I don't want to do none of that, Don. I don't want to be an investor, right? I don't want to do none of that. Even if you didn't want to invest in individual stocks and want to have to research these companies and figure all this out, you could literally put your money inside of an index fund. Now, what is an index fund? I'll break that down very simple for you. An index fund is, I'm trying to give you a simple terminology to an index fund. An index fund basically is a bunch of companies. Let's use the S&P 500 for an example. They took 500 of the most profitable companies, right? They all put them together into one index fund. The 500 most profitable companies, put them into one index fund. And now what you can do is now, instead of buying an individual stock, you can buy a share in an index that is utilizing all 500 companies. So now, and here's the beautiful part and now you don't got to do no work either. No work necessary. Put your money inside of an index, leave it. You sit on it long term. The history of an index, it's said, and this is historical, the historical average of the index of an index fund is 7 to 10%. That's the historical average. You can look it up yourself. Just by buying and you could buy, like, let's say you can buy Vanguard. Vanguard has an index fund. There's a bunch of different companies that have index. You could buy a share. I think Vanguard's index share is it's like $260 a share, something like that, somewhere around there. You could literally sit on that, and historically, it increases by 7 to 10%. So by literally doing nothing with your money, by just allowing it to sitting inside of an index fund with these 500 most profitable companies that are being traded, you make 7 to 10%. And if at any given time you needed to pull your profits out because you had an emergency, you can do so. Money gets transferred straight to your account. We utilize Robinhood. Robinhood allows you to transfer you sell the share, transfer your profits to your bank account within 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
But you were able to make profit. You were able to see growth. You were able to increase, right? You were able to see you're outbeating inflation. So I don't think that it's any excuse for anybody, for that matter, to have money parked inside of a savings account that's generating 0.5%, that's not making any money whatsoever, and you're allowing the banks to profit off of you, and you have so many options out here that you can utilize, such as an index fund, to be able to start just generating revenue and allowing these CEOs of these companies to just work for you. It to me, it just makes sense. It just makes sense, and I think that, and then there's so many other options too. Of course, a lot of the money that we invest in is to businesses. We invest in businesses and real estate. Maybe you can't invest in real estate because you don't have all the funds to do so. Maybe you can't invest in a business. Maybe you don't want to start a business. The least you can do is invest in an index.
Yeah,
and
I heard somewhere, because what's his name? Amazon CEO. For some reason, his
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. What he does is he literally takes almost every single dollar that Amazon makes and invests it right back into the company.
Yeah.
In order for, you see his stock going up. He made $13 billion. Was that today or yesterday?
I don't know what day it was.
Yeah, but he made $13 billion overnight because his stock went up 8%.
Yeah.
So that's good too.
You have to, man. Like these opportunities are there. You know what I'm really mad about? I'm mad about the fact that I utilize, like, yo, here's the craziest thing. And one of the guys, his name is Wall Street Trapper. He's one of the guys on social media, OG. He invests in the stock market. And one of the things that like I learned from him when I was watching him was that look at all of the things that you utilize each and every day. And he gave a strategy. Look at all the things you utilize each and every day. And why not invest in the things that you actually are already paying for? So I'll give you a good example of that, right? I utilize Shopify every day because we have an e-commerce store. Shopify is on the stock market. And I want to say like 3 months ago, Shopify share price was like $300 and some. A lot of you now. I'm still mad. I'm still having nightmares about this.
This is before Corona, right?
Yes.
Corona hit.
Share price was $360 something bucks. I'm actively using Shopify. Had I bought the shares that I was originally going to buy into Shopify, Shopify share price is now $1,000. Whoever bought Shopify $300 made $700 a share. When you say if you bought 10, you made $7,000 overnight. Within months, no work being done. You allowed the CEO and the company to literally work for you. I say that to say this. You could literally look at, and this is what Wall Street Trapper taught me. You could literally look at all the things that you are utilizing each and every day. You can research those companies, look them up on the look up their look up the company on Robinhood or one of the other stock market platforms and literally look them up, research them, and bro, you can literally utilize them. You can buy into them, and then they can either pay you back, whether it be in dividends or in the share price increasing. And you're making money off of the things you're paying for. You own the things you're paying for. So it should never be a time where your money is not making money when if you're paying for something, why not own it? If you're paying for it, why not own it? You get what I'm saying? Like
Definitely true.
If I'm using Adobe every single day, why not own a piece of Adobe? Great company, by the way. Yeah. But why not own a piece of Adobe? It's like, dog. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you one more example. And this is what I did catch this one. I utilize Fiverr every day. Fiverr is one of my favorite platforms. It's probably one of my favorite companies right now, to be honest with you. One of my favorite companies. You can go to Fiverr to get whatever you need. Websites, logos. They will actually ghostwrite a book for you. Like Fiverr will do whatever. I was utilizing Fiverr every day, and I utilized the strategy that Wall Street Trapper taught me. Yo, you buy into the things that you're already using. I looked up Fiverr, and I'm gonna tell you when I got in too. This is no lie. Let me see. I end up looking up Fiverr on why is it saying that my password is wrong?
I got
what?
You. I got it pulled up because I bought some. Because when you told me, I bought some stock too.
Oh, you got in?
Yeah. So you want to go like 3 months ago?
I'm about to look at it right now, actually. And I'm actually at 50%. I looked up. So I got in at Fiverr on. I was utilizing Fiverr every single day, and I'm like, damn, you know what? I love this company. They're great. I'm gonna utilize the strategy that Wall Street Trapper told me. I researched the company, looked them up. Obviously looked at their balance sheets, and then I just said, yo, it's a quality company. Like I love what they do. I spent at least over $1,000 with them. So I said, I know a lot of people doing the same thing. Fiverr is very good. And then at the time, Fiverr was trading at $50. It was like $50 a share, $48 a share. This was, I don't remember when I did it. I ended up getting in at $40-something a share, about $50. And now Fiverr is trading at $85 a share. I ended up making $35 profit per share. I think I have about 20 shares now or something like that. But regardless of that I literally did nothing, bro. I did nothing. I own like 20 shares in Fiverr, did nothing. And I just let it sit there. And it literally increased over the past 3 months from $50 to 85. And it was just that simple of a concept. I would not have earned literally somewhere between $700 to $1,000 in 3 months from the bank ever in my life. Never in my life would I have done that. Never. It's impossible, actually. It's impossible.
So in conclusion, don't let your money sit. Move it
Do
around.
not let your money sit. Move it around, bro. Please. And if you and take classes on this. If you want to take classes on the stock market, yo, it's a lot of dudes. That's a lot of dudes taking classes. Like I said, shout out to Wall Street Trapper. You can look him up on Instagram. I think his classes are dope. My man Ian, the Master Investor. You can look him up. He's dope.
Earn Your Leisure. They got some great tips.
Well, Ian is with Earn Your Leisure.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the Master Investor. You can look him up. And then also one of my other brothers that has it is my man Chris Johnson. You can look up Chris Johnson as well. These are 3 reputable dudes. Tell them that I sent you too, by the way. Wall Street Trapper, the Master Investor, which is Ian, and then Chris Johnson. All 3 of them have solid courses that teach you about stock market, options trading, all of that. I literally was learning all the stuff from them as we went, and I just started making money. This is not even stock, it's not even my specialty, but it was like we made extra money just from what? Doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so please, man, do that, yo. I do it.
All right, so we done hit our hour mark. We're a little bit over that, but it was a great man cave conversation. But before we do head out, just need you to knock out sponsor one more time.
Yeah, so the sponsor is Jumping Jack Tax. If you need your taxes done, call 267-792-0186. We do taxes virtually in all 50 states, no matter where you are. And lastly, if you're somebody that's interested in learning a skill, if you're interested in learning a need, I'm pretty sure that you know at least 10 to 20 people that need their taxes done each and every year. So why not learn a skill in tax preparation so you can capitalize off of the need, so you can become useful to your community? So I have a 12-week course teaching you the step-by-steps on how to learn the skill of tax preparation so you can start generating revenue immediately. It's an amazing course. We go very in depth. Everything that I've learned over the past 4 years of having a profitable tax office, I'm going to teach to you, and you'll be able to be a part of Jumping Jack Tax. So all you got to do is go to jumpingjacktaxes.com/open your office and learn about my program. I promise you it's dope, and you're definitely going to want to get started. So that being said, we out of here, man.
Yeah, so I just want to recap this episode. So we did earlier, we talked about men's mental health. Then we went from there to actually gave great 5 steps for decision making, which was purpose,
facts, consequences, this execution, and evaluation.
Okay, evaluation, and then basically don't let your money sit.
Don't park it.
Yep, but let it move around. Let it work for you. I mean, you don't really gotta try to work for it.
Most definitely. So we out of here, man. I'm Prince Donnell, the pastor of business and also the founder, CEO of Jumping Jack Tax. And you are officially listening to $1 Million Life Lessons, the Man Cave edition, where I drop $1 Million Gems. Got Van here to drop $1 Million Gems. And it's your job to pick them up. Have an amazing day. I'll see y'all again soon, possibly in my presence.
Peace.
Got my taxes jumping, now my bag coming with that major money, dripping blessings. That might buy a house for my mama, bad credit. Don't even sweat it, cause they'll repair it, ain't no question. They can do it, it's a major movement. We are